Black Friday is the single most important day of the year for any Amazon FBA seller. And as a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller myself, on Black Friday, I'm making more in that day than almost any other day that year. And speaking of Black Friday, I'm now offering an exclusive deal where you can join my mentorship for just £290 a month. And that will give you access to information that people like Sam use to make £60,000 a month in profit. If that sounds like something you're interested in, head down below to the video description and click the link at the top to book in a call to learn more. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first up, let me tell you a little bit about how Black Friday works with Amazon. So Black Friday this year is the 28th of November and it's followed up by Cyber Monday on the 1st. Now, Amazon and most other retailers, to be fair, don't usually just do a single sale on the 28th and a single sale on Cyber Monday. It's usually a week-long process, if not even the whole month for some retailers. On Amazon, there's going to be lightning deals that rotate every few hours or even every few days. And a lot of these deals aren't that great, you know, they're just a small discount on what these products are most of the rest of the year. But if you've got the right software like Keeper, which allows you to see the kind of price chart over the past X amount of days that product has been live on Amazon, you can spot the real bangers. Categories like electronics, toys, and home products see a huge increase in sales velocity. I'm talking 300 to 400% more sales on those days than any other day of the year. So really with Amazon, you're talking huge sales volumes for your store, as well as loads of opportunities all across the internet to buy loads more stock to then sell in the following months. Black Friday really is the last opportunity for you to grab a load of stock at a huge discount to sell at Christmas. It is honestly an arbitrage seller's dream. Now obviously you can make a huge amount of profit on Black Friday because of that huge increase in sales volume. You know, even if you're not discounting your products, more people are buying stuff just because it's a day of buying stuff. But honestly, Black Friday for me, as an Amazon FBA seller that's doing online arbitrage, it's actually more about buying stock than it is about selling it. Because so many retailers, you know, not just Amazon, but every retailer pretty much all over the internet is doing huge discounts on their products. If you know what to look for and if you know how to find the right products to buy that have good sales volume on Amazon and are cheap enough at these retailers, there are so many buying opportunities. I've personally seen high ticket products go from £1,000 all the way down to about 500 quid and then back again the next day. If you can buy enough units of that product, you are laughing all the way to the bank. This one day can literally carry your Amazon store for months. Because of the timing of it, it's a little bit annoying. It's the end of November and Amazon's warehouses get super rammed around this time of year. So a lot of the stock that I actually bought for Black Friday, some of it got sold at Christmas, but the vast majority actually sold in the Q1 of the following year, so January to March sort of time. In that quarter alone, I cleared over 100 grand in profit this year. And that really goes to show the power of this day. That one day of sales set me up for the next few months worth of just like stock. All you got to do is know what to buy and to buy it in large enough quantities that it carries you for those months. So last Black Friday, for example, it was 29th of November, 2024, and I made about £1,000 in profit, which is kind of a normal day for me nowadays, but back then was still pretty good. But I spent about £38,000 in just a couple days during the Black Friday events, which is an absolutely huge amount of money. That's more money that I spent than I made in revenue during that same period, but that's how you've got to play it. You will see a huge increase in sales demand, but it's all about just spending on stock and buying as much as you possibly can at these super discounted prices. Which for context, you know, 38k spend, what does that actually mean profit-wise? At an average of 20% ROI, which is definitely on the low end, especially with some of these Black Friday deals, we're talking 7 grand in profit secured from literally just one day of spending. And now you don't have to worry about making less profit on the products you sell. That's one thing I want to make clear, right? When Amazon discounts a product, you're selling that exact same product. You don't have to follow them down and sell at that discounted price. You just keep your prices high. Once the event is over, prices go back to normal. You continue selling at that kind of regular price. If it's cheap enough on Amazon, if they've dropped the price enough, you can even buy up the stock that Amazon has put on sale, sell that back at the original price a few days later. That's what I did a lot of last year. So it just means increased sales demand for kind of no cost to you. You don't have to give out any discounts or anything like that. You just make more money. So let me explain to you how you actually prepare for Black Friday, because you do want to plan ahead a little bit if you want to maximize this once a year kind of event. So in terms of having stock available to sell, you want to be sure that you're sending it in right at the start of November to ensure that it's actually getting checked in and made available to sell in time for customers to be buying it on Black Friday. And then for buying, which I would say is a lot more important than actually selling stuff on Black Friday, you just want to have as much capital ready to go to spend on stock so that when you find that amazing deal that kind of really realistically, if you want to maximize it, you've got to spend £1,000 or £2,000 on that one deal. You want to have that money spare and ready to go. Amazon is always about just spending as much money on stock as possible. And obviously Black Friday is just an opportunity to do a lot of that in a single day. So have that credit card ready and just spend. Amazon is about spending as much as possible. And obviously you also want to kind of make sure you've got a free schedule so that ideally you can spend the whole day just buying as many products as possible. I'm sure if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I only usually spend about an hour or two a day on my actual Amazon store and spend most of the rest of my day messing about. But there are just a few certain days a year where I lock in and spend a whole day just only purchasing deals, and that's Black Friday and Prime Days as well, when there's a good Amazon sale on. I'm pretty sure on the 27th, I'm going to be staying up till midnight and just waiting for the deals to hit my inbox. So let me tell you about my game plan for actually buying on Black Friday. The game plan is pretty simple. It is just buy as much as you possibly can afford to. You'll be buying both from just regular online retailers as well as from Amazon themselves when they're doing Amazon to Amazon deals. Which basically just means buying at that discounted price, say it's £200 on Black Friday, and waiting for the price to go back up a few days later and selling it for $500. If you are interested in learning more about Amazon to Amazon, I do have a full-length course video for free on my channel, so go check that out. And as an example, say you spent, £15,000 over the week of the kind of Black Friday deals, I would say you'd expect to make about $3,000 in profit on the low side. If you can maximize your ROI and focus on the best of the best deals, the creme de la creme, then I'm sure you can go even higher than that. And that is crazy. From like a week's worth of spending, not even that, you could probably do that in a day if you were dedicated enough. You've already now locked in more than the average month's salary for most people in the UK. What I probably wouldn't recommend on Black Friday is doing retail arbitrage. Now that said, I've never tried this myself, but I just don't think it's really a thing nowadays. You don't really see those kind of videos of thousands of people mobbing a shop as soon as it opens on Black Friday morning and kind of clearing out the TVs and everything else. I feel like most of the best deals can be easily found online. So save yourselves the hassle of going out, dealing with the crowds, if there are even any nowadays. Just stick to online arbitrage. It's a lot easier and a lot more scalable. Let me give you a few of my top Black Friday tips. So if you're dedicated like me, I would recommend staying up till midnight and kind of doing basically the virtual equivalent of camping outside a store to get the best deals. A lot of the best deals are going to go live at midnight, just like with Prime Day, and they're all gone by 3-4 AM because people like me have already bought all the stock. So if you want to beat us to it, then definitely worth staying up and just kind of at least do it one night on the actual 28th, just before the kind of mega deals go live for proper Black Friday, and it might be well worth your time. I'd also say it's super important to go really into depth with the deal analysis. Make sure you're having a good look at the price chart on Keeper and don't fall victim to the hundreds of kind of fake sale items out there. Just because it says they're marked down by 50% from retail price doesn't mean they're actually 50% less. It could just be they're only like 5-10% less and they've just never really sold at retail price. I find that's a super common mistake that a lot of my mentorship clients make when they're completely new to the world of online arbitrage. You see, stores are always trying to pull the wool over your eyes and act like the deal is better than it really is. I would also advise against buying anything that's seasonal. If you're seeing any advent calendars on sale at the end of November, do not buy them, not unless you're willing to wait a whole year for them to sell, because they're just not going to get checked in time. With how slow Amazon becomes at processing inbound stock in December, I'd say don't buy anything if it's not going to sell well in like January, February sort of time, because it's very realistic that it won't get checked in until then. Now you could always put in a little extra effort and FBM it from the day it arrives, which means you ship it directly to the customer and it kind of skips Amazon's warehouse completely. But personally, it's a little bit too high effort for me. Email lists are also a great thing to get subscribed to in advance of the sale. Sign up to the mailing list of all your favorite retailers so that you can get a notification as soon as their sales go live, because a lot of these retailers are going to start doing discounts before the 29th. It's just going to be like a whole week of deals. There'll be a link down below in the video description to get a list from me of 100 different retailers that you can go through and sign up to in advance of Black Friday. Just scroll all the way to the bottom of the website and you'll see the link down there for free. If you're especially lazy and you don't want to have to stay up till like midnight searching for all these deals, I'd also recommend getting software like Chaos, which automatically buys you these profitable products with you not lifting a finger. So that is exactly how I'm planning to maximize Black Friday as a multi-7-figure Amazon FBA seller. So as I said at the start, I'm actually offering my own Black Friday deal. You can get access to one-to-one calls, regular group coaching, exclusive lead giveaways, and a 10-hour video course, all for just 290 quid a month. That is less than the price of a VA salary, and you're still going to get the leads, and I will teach you how to source in a way that you won't find anywhere else on the internet. Here is what some of my previous students have to say about the program.
And to be honest, when I found your course, that's when it introduced me to more efficient and faster, more effective methods.
So I know that if I hadn't invested into the business with your mentoring, I wouldn't have managed to get to where I am today.
In the past 30 days alone, we've got a combined profit of about 100k between us. So I'm on about 38k profit. Sam, what were you on?
Roughly about 62,000.
Finally, like and subscribe as always if you found this video helpful, and make sure to click up here so you can see my video on how to use Chaos to automate your Black Friday purchasing.